what keywords are is how people find you. Okay? You know your business better than anyone else. So you need to really get to know your customer who comes to your business, and what is the behavior that they do, the thought process that's in their head when they go to do a search online. So if you go to the Yellow Pages and you got a plumbing problem, you just flip it open to the plumbing section. Most of the thinking's already been done for you. All you do then is point at the one ad that looks better than the other ads, and you call that person. That's the behavior of the Yellow Pages searcher. Online, it doesn't work that way. People are actually typing in phrases, and it typically goes like this. I need a plumber. So they'll type in plumber, and then they'll get results for all over the world. There's plumber this, plumber that, and not one of them answers the problem that they have. So then they say, okay, plumber in Arizona. They'll type that in, and then that'll show up certain results. And then they may say, okay, that's not exactly what I'm looking for because it's giving me a plumber over in Scottsdale and I live in Peoria. Well, how about I put in a plumber in Peoria? So this is the behavioral thinking that they're going through. And then they're going to look at the listings that show up. And in those listings, if they see what they're looking for, so they may have a problem with a backed up sewer line. Well, if you don't talk, if that does not show up in the listings, and none of them show up and they click on it and they go to your different websites, they may call one of you, but odds are they're going to do another search. They're going to say, sewer problem at plumber in Phoenix or Peoria, Arizona. They're going to type that in so they can get more and more specific, so they can get their problem answered. And if you're not addressing your client, your prospects' problems, what it is that they're actually searching for, if you're not addressing that, then they're not going to find you. And because Google will not serve it up. They want to give what's called relevancy. They want your site to be as relevant to the searcher as possible. And the reason they do that is no one will use Google if it's not relevant. If you type in a search and you for a plumber and you get something nothing but electrician stuff, you're going to hate Google. So Google wants to make sure that the only people who show up are the people who are doing what's relevant to the searcher. So you need to try to get into the mind of the people that are going to come to your business. And to do that, addicted to myself, sorry. To get into the minds of your prospect, it's just flat out marketing. We want to know what it is, what they are trying to solve. And so we have to play detective. And the best way of doing this is to ask. Just ask your customers, what kind of problems do you have? And those first questions that you ask your customers, people who have already bought from you, why? Why did you choose us? How did you find us? How did you choose us? And try to think about what kind of mental state were they in at that time? Because that mental state is what's going to help you figure out what keywords you want to rank for on the search engines. And that's just the behavioral side of it. So from that point, after the behavioral side, there's tools online. Google makes tons and tons of free tools. And you should just go in, set up an account with Google, and play with all the tools that they have. Just go in there, they've got a lot of instructions for you. Just the AdWords tool on Google, you just type in a keyword. So throw out a business name here, somebody. What's that?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. All right. Everyone loves ice cream. So you put in ice cream into your the Google AdWords. Well, that's not going to be very useful unless you sell ice cream nationally, because it'll give you a long list of keywords related to ice cream, but not just any keywords. It's keywords that people are searching on related to ice cream, and it will tell you how many people are searching on that phrase, ice cream. And then it tells you, with that, once you know how many people are searching, the type of volume you have, take that phrase, ice cream, and open up another window and put it into Google search and say, just type it in and see what kind of competition you have. Odds are for the phrase ice cream, there will probably be somewhere around 900 million different pages, okay, that you would be competing against. Not very useful. So for ice cream, you're where at in the valley?
We're in Tucson.
Okay, you're in Tucson, so outside the valley. It's a good haul to come up here. So do you sell only in Tucson?
My stores are only in Tucson, but it's a national brand.
Okay, so there's a few tricks with that. So you're going to have national brand of ice cream in Tucson. Just type that into the AdWords tool. And what it'll do is it'll show up a whole bunch of keywords related to that brand and ice cream and for Tucson. This is going to give you additional information related to the behavior of the people searching for your business, your type of business, not you specifically, but your type. And then you want to look at your major competitors in Tucson. You want to see who else they are, and you want to find out what kind of keywords that they would rank for. Because you want to own those keywords. You don't even want them to be able to rank for their own keywords. You don't want your competitors to be able to out-compete you. And I don't say that as to be mean-hearted or anything. It's just in business, it's kind of a survival of the fittest. The person, unless you're like a gigantic company and the government bails you out. I don't know, anyone here got a gigantic company that needs a bailout? You offer? Yeah. So small companies can't hope that Obama's going to come along and hand them a bunch of cash. And right now, with a lot of people falling out of business, people are cutting back on their spending. There's a lot of these things that we're seeing, like Sears just posted that they've lost nearly $95 million in a single quarter because people aren't spending money at Sears. But we're also seeing that there's other brands that are having their best years ever. So why is that? If people aren't spending money, then why are some companies doing very well and others not? And it's because they are spending time doing marketing. They're getting into the behavior of their prospects. They're looking at that behavior and they're crafting messages to get to it. So with like Jim Yockey and Jim McClure, they've developed systems that one generates a lot of leads. The other one, people have made calls to a business. So that person on that phone, you don't want to lose that person. So these people who are working to create as many marketing campaigns as possible are the ones who are going to survive. Most of the greatest and